After great pain, a formal feeling comes. By Emily Dickinson. Context. The poem, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, was written by Emily Dickinson, a prominent American poet who lived in the 19th century. Dickinson is known for her unconventional style and unique perspectives on life, often exploring themes of mortality, love, and nature in her poetry. Emily Dickinson lived a reclusive life and experienced various losses and hardships, including the deaths of close family members and friends. Her poetry often reflects her introspective and contemplative nature, delving into the complex emotions and thoughts that arise from profound experiences. In After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, Dickinson explores the aftermath of experiencing intense emotional pain or trauma. The poem does not provide a specific narrative or external context, but rather focuses on the internal landscape of the speaker's emotions and sensations. It describes the detachment and numbness that can follow a period of great suffering, and the formal, almost ritualistic quality of the emotions that arise in its wake. The poem's sparse and unconventional style, characterized by Dickinson's use of dashes, capitalization, and compact stanzas, adds to its distinctive tone and creates a sense of emotional intensity. Dickinson's unique perspective on the human condition and her exploration of the complexities of grief, loss, and recovery are hallmarks of her poetry, and, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, is considered a poignant example of her poetic genius. Stanza 01. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. The nerves sit ceremonious, like tombs. The stiff heart questions, was it he, that bore? And, yesterday, or centuries before? Explanation. These lines are the opening stanza of the poem, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, by Emily Dickinson. In this stanza, the poet describes the aftermath of experiencing intense pain or grief, and the subsequent emotional and physical numbness that follows. The first line, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, suggests that after experiencing intense pain or grief, there is a sense of emotional detachment and formality that follows. This can be interpreted as a coping mechanism, a way for the psyche to protect itself from the overwhelming emotions that come with great pain. The metaphor of, the nerves sit ceremonious, like tombs, suggests that the nerves, which are typically associated with sensitivity and responsiveness, now feel still and lifeless, like tombs or graves. This conveys a sense of numbness that comes after experiencing great pain. The line, the stiff heart questions, was it he, that bore, can be interpreted as the heart, which is often associated with emotions and feelings, becoming distant and detached. The use of the word, stiff, suggests a rigid or unyielding state, and the heart is described as questioning whether it was indeed the one that bore the pain. This can be seen as a dissociative response to pain, where the self questions its own role or involvement in the experience, as if it were observing from a distance. The final line, and, yesterday, or centuries before, conveys a sense of timelessness and disorientation. The poet questions the passage of time, as if the pain could have been experienced recently, yesterday, or a long time ago, centuries before. This further emphasizes the sense of detachment and confusion that comes after experiencing great pain, where the perception of time becomes blurred and distorted. Stanza 02. The feet, mechanical, go round a wooden way of ground, or air, or aught, regardless grown. A quartz contentment, like a stone. Explanation. The lines from Emily Dickinson's poem, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, offer a poignant reflection on the aftermath of intense pain or grief. Through her masterful use of imagery and language, Dickinson conveys a sense of detachment, mechanization, and emotional numbness that can follow a deeply emotional experience, providing a critical appreciation of the human response to trauma. One of the key aspects of these lines is the use of vivid and striking imagery. The portrayal of feet, mechanical, go round, creates a powerful visual of robotic, unfeeling movement, suggesting a sense of automatic response or coping mechanism in the face of pain. The use of wooden way evokes a sense of rigidity and lack of vitality, portraying a detachment from the usual warmth and spontaneity of life. The image of quartz contentment, like a stone, further emphasizes the emotional numbness and indifference, likening it to a hard, unfeeling substance. These images create a vivid and memorable depiction of the emotional state being conveyed, adding depth and richness to the poem. The use of language in these lines is also noteworthy. The repetition of the word, mechanical, and the phrase, go round, creates a sense of monotony and robotic repetition, conveying a loss of spontaneity and emotional engagement. The use of regardless groan suggests a sense of indifference or apathy towards the world, indicating a detachment from the usual cares and obligations of life. The comparison of quartz contentment to a stone further reinforces the emotional numbness and detachment being described. The precise and evocative language used by Dickinson adds to the overall impact and effectiveness of the lines. Furthermore, these lines offer a critical appreciation of the human response to trauma. Dickinson captures the complex emotions and sensations that often follow a deeply painful experience. The detachment, mechanization, and emotional numbness portrayed in these lines can be seen as coping mechanisms that the human psyche may employ to protect itself from overwhelming emotions. The poem suggests that in the aftermath of great pain, there may be a formal, detached, and unfeeling response that can manifest as a defense mechanism, allowing the individual to continue functioning in the face of emotional turmoil. In conclusion, these lines from Emily Dickinson's poem, After Great Pain, A Formal Feeling Comes, offer a profound reflection on the aftermath of intense pain or grief. Through vivid imagery, precise language, and keen observation of human behavior, Dickinson conveys a sense of detachment, mechanization, and emotional numbness that can follow profound suffering. These lines provide a critical appreciation of the human response to trauma, offering insight into the complex ways in which individuals may cope with intense emotional experiences. Stanza 03. This is the hour of lead. Remembered, if outlived. As freezing persons, recollect the snow. First, chill, then stupor, then the letting go. Explanation. In these lines, the poet uses vivid imagery and metaphor to describe the aftermath of a profound emotional experience, likening it to the hour of lead. Lead is heavy and burdensome, suggesting a weighty and oppressive emotional state that follows great pain. The phrase, remembered, if outlived, implies that the experience of pain may be remembered long after it has been endured, highlighting the lasting impact it can have on an individual's memory and psyche. It suggests that the memory of the pain may persist even after the immediate effects have subsided, indicating the deep emotional resonance of the experience. The comparison of the pain to freezing persons, recollect the snow, is a striking metaphor that conveys the gradual stages of emotional response to pain. The mention of snow evokes a sense of coldness, numbness, and detachment. The first chill represents the initial shock or emotional numbness that follows the pain, where the individual feels emotionally frozen and unable to fully process the experience. The then stupor can be understood as a state of emotional confusion, where the individual feels mentally foggy or disoriented, struggling to make sense of the pain. Finally, then the letting go suggests a release or surrender, where the individual may eventually come to terms with the pain or find a way to move forward. Overall, these lines describe the aftermath of great pain as a heavy burden that lingers in the memory, and they portray the gradual stages of emotional response to pain, from initial shock and numbness to confusion and eventual acceptance or release. Dickinson's use of metaphor and imagery adds depth and richness to these lines, capturing the complex emotions and experiences that follow intense pain.